Hello there, humans! I am Cecil Runo, the blind alien from a distant galaxy who is also an Own Voices author. This is going to be a short and sweet video. This is a writing and a reading update since I started my Booktube channel. This is going to be a bi-weekly video format, so every other Saturday. I know it's Sunday, but should have been on Saturday. My life is really hectic. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Let's start right away with my writing updates. And so first of all, poetry. Well, my poems are not coming. It's like when you want to go to the toilet but you can't. Yeah, that's what's happening right now with the new poems. I have to work on 2 poems. I have 2 that are ready and I'm currently rehearsing them. So they are going to be up and ready on my YouTube channel in October. So consider subscribing if you are curious about my poetry. Anyway, I'm rehearsing the 2 that I have and I have to write other 2. I already have the songs for those other 2, but I just don't have the poems themselves. I already have ideas, concepts, themes, all that, but the poem is not coming. I guess it's the heat wave, it's killing me. Anyway, that's what's about my poetry right now. It's a little bit, it's got short, but it's there, it's coming, and I'm working on it, even though it's not happening right now as of today. Now let's move on to short stories, and short stories is kind of like in the same position right now. There is a short story that I already have, it's finished, but I was polishing it because that's another project that I have coming up on my channel later this year, and I'm going to narrate that short story for you. It's going to be up on my channel, so if you want to see that again, consider subscribing. But yeah, I had to do some more editing because that short story has one of the 2 narrators is actually Icelandic, and there are some Icelandic parts in the story, so I of course contacted some of my friends over in Iceland and asked them if what I was doing was actually grammatically correct or not, or if I had to just forget about this project altogether. And luckily, no, luckily it's a good project apparently, and I'm surprised. My problem was mostly the spelling of some names and a little bit of grammar issues, but like very little grammar issues, which is like surprising because I don't speak Icelandic, but okay. Yeah, mostly it was spelling on the names, like the names were not correctly spelled in some cases. And like, I'm not gonna go into a language lesson here, but yeah, there were little mistakes, but finally this is all being corrected. And I feel like the story is ready. I just have to wait for a little bit more feedback on the actual story in itself. If there's any more changes, well, I'm going to work on it right away because this is a project with a self-imposed deadline and it's very soon, so stay tuned for that. I'm very happy that I am able to share that story with you guys. It's one of my favorites, so yeah. Now, the other short story that I'm working on is even more prioritized at the moment because it is for the 2nd Disability and Romance anthology that is planned to be released during Valentine's of 2020. And I have my characters, I have parts of the plot, I have the setting, I have mostly everything, but just like starting the story in itself is kind of hard because this is going to be a little bit closer to my actual writing style. It's going to be a sci-fi romance narrated in dual point of view, so this is definitely closer to what I do, except that now this is like a romance, but now it has the sci-fi element and the dual POV element. It's more me, even more me than my first short story of romance. Yeah, I mean, I love my first romance short and it is very me, but like the writing in itself for this upcoming one is going to be even more me because of like the labeling, you know, dual POV sci-fi romance. That's taking away the romance. That's exactly what I'm doing with Strange Families, is sci-fi in dual POV, so that's what I mean. It's a little bit closer to what I do. If you're curious about my first short story romance and the anthology as a whole, well, the video for the snippets is in the cards and the link to purchase is below. So if you're curious, if you're on the fence, you can go and check the video, read the snippets, or you just go into Amazon, read the description, And if you like it, well, then you can purchase it. It's available. But yeah, anyway, I'm working on the second short story right now, and I'm struggling to start. And my life is really hectic at the moment. I have some other work to do that has nothing to do with my writing. And it just got really, really hectic. So, well, it's difficult at the moment. But once I have my mind clear enough to start, I'm going to finish that rough draft pretty quickly. So I'm not worried. I just know that I have to start as soon as I can. Anyway, those are the two short stories that I'm currently working on really hard. And now the novel. I had the rewrite for chapter 1, and after a very strange set of dreams, you know what? Once you have your own characters coming at you and telling you what to do, you better listen to your characters. So when Tibor himself shows up like, yeah, you know what, give me more page time. Who is the story about? It's about me, right? Yeah, it's about you. Well, then the chapter has to start with me and stick with me. And I'm like, good one. I'm going to keep the rewrite, apparently, because you know what? It makes sense. Yeah, I have very strange dreams. Bear with me. So yeah, your characters come into your dreams, huh? Yeah, they do. It's funny. Sometimes. Depends on what character comes into the dream. Could turn into a nightmare. Anyway, the rewrite is done, and I need to work on a few more edits on the book, but for that, I am going to put it out there, guys. I need beta readers and critic partners, because I have had beta readers before, but it's not a stable game. Like, I need to find some new ones. If you like reading sci-fi, because I have to put the genre specifically here, I think that has been a problem for me to find beta readers, is that no matter how many times I say that I'm writing a sci-fi, people who don't read sci-fi come to me because of curiosity, because of blind writer, I don't know, whatever, but I need some sci-fi input in here, and I will really appreciate it if someone wants to contact me and someone wants to be my critic partner or my beta reader and put up with all my crappy punctuation. I deeply appreciate it. How to contact me? Well, this is my social media. It's the same everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Cecil Runo. I am the same everywhere. I'm very easy to find. I appreciate it very much if anyone wants to read and help me with my stuff. And I don't have a deadline, but I want to polish this thing the best I can as soon as I can, because there is one literary agent that I have on the radar. And you might ask, okay, you have one agent on your radar. Why that specific agent? Well, that agent, you know, when you're looking for agents to query and there's like a manuscript wish list or just a general list of things that they represent that they are looking for, this was the only literary agent that I saw on that website that clearly stated characters with disabilities among the things that they are looking for. Usually, when agents list the things that they are looking for, they state diversity. Usually the two things that I see mentioned the most are LGBTQ and racial diversity, and that's great. I belong into both categories, but the disability is like, we basically don't exist. So that agent had the courtesy to mention disabilities as well and disabled characters, and I was like, yeah, I think this is the agent for me, and I am really looking forward to query that agent. The thing is, the submission period is closed at the moment, so I'm just waiting, and I know when it opens, so I want to have my novel ready for that moment, for that specific agent, and I just want it to be the best I can, because I really, really want representation. I'm being very serious about my writing. So that's it for the writing update. Now let's go to the reading update. I am currently reading a short story. No, it's not a short story, sorry, it's a novella. I'm currently reading a novella by Grace E. Robinson. It's called Blue Shift. It's a hard sci-fi about a space crew that's currently dismantling their spaceship home because the planet that they are orbiting is evolving and changing. So they have to pack and leave, so to speak. It's a very interesting book. A short book, so to say. If you're curious, I'm going to leave the link below and you can go and support Grace. Yeah, that's one of I'm about to finish that book. The other book that I started, but I really have no time right now, but I want to read it like properly read it, because I really enjoy this author's writing, is Destination Unknown by Joey Paul, and I won that book on a giveaway, and I just, wow, I can't wait to get to it. I was so curious that I started reading it, but I got distracted and I don't really have the time because I have a deadline to fulfill. And yeah, so many things going on in my life right now that, yeah, I got distracted, but I'm going to get to it really soon because I want to read it. The other book that I am currently reading, and actually I'm halfway through, but I have to I have to rush it a little bit because I otherwise I'm going to have to start from scratch because I will forget some of the plot points. But the book that I was reading and enjoying so far, I'm going to actually make a review for that, is Queen of Swords and Silence by Carol Brown. It's an urban fantasy about a Valkyrie or something like this. I'm not going to spoil anything. Wait for the review. Subscribe to my channel if you're curious to see how a blind person is going to make book reviews, and ring the bell for future notifications. So those are the books that I am currently reading, trying to read, gonna get to read. But now let's talk about my TBR, because I actually have a TBR. Oh my god. I started reading a book a while ago, but I got so distracted that I feel like I have to pick it up again from scratch. It's The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. It's another sci-fi. I am very close to sci-fi, as you can see. Read in your genre, that's what they say. But I got distracted. I was really enjoying it, and then things happened, so I have to pick it up from scratch. I enjoy the narrator, so that's not a problem. Yeah, that's another book that I have to get back to. Another book that I started, oh my god, I was overwhelming myself. This is why I started but didn't finish, and then summer is being a bitch, and I have a heat wave after another, and I just cannot cope with this. I have very low heat tolerance and I'm basically dying every day, but okay. I'm going to pick up again Echoes of Nor by Adiga Otlo, and this is not a physical book, this is like an audiobook on YouTube, so this is a very unique thing, and I really enjoy what he's doing. I think he's a very talented writer. I started Echoes of Nor, but I got distracted, so I have to finish it. I was enjoying it so far, but it just went to my TBR. And then the other book that's very similar and in the same niche, so to speak, is The Coffee Shop by Scully. Scully what? What's your surname? Because I know you by your YouTube channel name, which is Scully's House of Thrillers. This is a thriller, of course, and I love it so far. The premise kept me very curious, and I mean, it's an audiobook. The first thing you hear when you visit Scully's channel is, "Hi everyone, I'm Scully, the author that reads to you," and I'm like, whoa, that's my kind of author. So of course, as soon as I have time, I'm going to go and listen to that fantastic audiobook with all the cool sound effects and all the things that it's like a movie but all in sound. I really enjoy it. Thank you, Scully, for all that you do. We need more authors that read to us. It's amazing. Thank you. So that's on my TBR. And another book that has been creeping on my TBR, but this one I have not picked up, I have not started, I have no idea. I just found it through a book review, and it's called The Songbird's Refrain by Jillian Maria. I want to read it, I just don't have the time, as you can see. I have it, so it's just going on my TBR. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I want to read it because it sounds really intriguing and interesting. So that's another of the books that I plan to read in the near future. And I think that's it for now. I think I have enough content for now, don't you think? With my writing and reading, being partially blind, it's going to be difficult to balance. But yeah, that's the current update. And once again, I hope you like my stuff, and just subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment and let me know what are you reading right now, or what are you writing? How is your own thing going? I'm always curious to see. Please subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and follow me on social media if you want to be my critic partner or beta reader. I deeply appreciate that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!